And away we go. Oh, Shadowhawk was here. I swear it was here. Anyway, well, you know, we can begin. Does it look like I just woke up? Yes. Few moments ago. Few minutes ago. Well, more than a few minutes, but it takes time to let
Well, howdy, Rick.
get her in. Well, hello. Hello.
And hail, Eric. I saw he was in the chat already. Don't know if anybody else popped in yet. Hail, Eric. Good to see you, buddy. Oh, and Mike Walters just popped in. Hail, Mike.
Wanted to take a picture of Abby's belly, which I will show you in a moment.
Oh, no.
Where they look her little incision.
How many stitches they end up giving her?
I didn't count them. Oh, maybe we can do that together. I mean, you know, those sutures are so fine. It's like, yeah, I really haven't messed with her. Just let her. I mean, that's one reason we're behind. I wanted to sleep all day, you know, and let her rest and recuperate, you know, although it's been a couple of days.
That's all right. Now, did they use the dissolving stitches for her, or are you going to have to go back and get them taken back out?
In 10 days, they want me to go back and get them taken out of her mouth, which you would have thought they would have put dissolving. I didn't ask him at the time. It did run across my brain, but I thought, okay, whatever you got to do. My thought was, is this going to cost me anything more to have them taken out? Hopefully not, but
I don't think they usually charge just for taking the stitches back out. I think that's included in it. But I mean, yeah. I mean, every vet could be different too. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I was limited on money because I was like, well, I need a check for this much, and here's you know, I gave Mom $140 down on it and said I'll have more Monday, next Monday, and you know, it turned out it was like $560.55, something like that. Because and I've got an itemized bill in there for everything, and yeah, it ain't cheap. But I mean, if you combine that with my trip to Jackson, it's going to be about $1,100 like it was last time. Which
I mean. Yeah, it's not cheap. Medical's not cheap for animals or humans.
Yeah, and he had to go up in there, 3-root system, you know, on a couple of teeth and make sure all that's out of her skull and everything, you know, whatever. I mean, so you got to take care of them. I mean, you know, if $2,200 is all, and her food and upkeep, you know, is all I have to spend on her, then she's worth that, you know. You know, and relatively good health, and a lot of that brown and stuff that I was concerned about on her teeth and everything cleaned right off. I mean, her teeth looked good. I mean, he told me that the other day. I mean, it looks white, minty, fresh white, maybe even better than mine.
But you ever give her the little little toothbrush treats?
Yes, and I've been greenies, or the last one might have been old. She didn't even want to eat it. I don't know. Maybe
usually they eat them pretty well. They might
maybe her teeth. She knew that would hurt her teeth. Maybe I could try and get them to her down. Yeah, I mean, I'm giving her all soft. I give her soft meals anyway. I don't give her kibble, dry food, unless it's just made processed out of kind of like Burt Ward's brand. It's like you say, all meat. Give a like to Rex's dog, and not for Rex or Shadowhawk. Wow, what did you do to Shadowhawk? Now he's hurting on you.
I don't know.
Oh, over my shoulder the other day. Now I have 2 Adlers back here. You can see one there. That is, although there's glare on it, it is matted, and it was matted by, and odd stuff like that in the Jack Adler collection that he saved. He probably had this hanging up in his house at one time. He matted this himself.
Oh, that's cool.
So this is a approval cover that has been matted. And I tried to get all the matted ones. I think Elsie's got 1 matted. I've got 2. I don't know. This one is a Date with Debbie. One of those sort of Archie type titles of the early 70s, A Date with Debbie from DC Comics. Okay. And then there's one there, which is Weird Western Tales. Now, Jonah Hex came out of that, Scalp Hunter, and other things like that. It was a Western, right? I believe the first issue was a reprint, and I could not think of the Indian character, Powwow Smith. Powwow Smith. And I have it down here, and it's unfair of me to say I have it. I could get it if you want to see it. It's been a while since I've shown it on the show. Let me just get it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Just give me a second.
And I shall chat with the chat while you're doing that. And hello, Carrie, Eric, Mike Walters. Thanks for dropping in as usual. Eric, what have I done that you slight me and stab me when my back is turned? Oh my! And Carrie, always good to see you, dear. I got something to show you guys too when Rex gets done goofing off over
here. I don't know if we work tonight or not, but my phone, I just got it. I mean, literally got up. That was the first thing I did before I even went to the restroom, was activate my phone. But I'm not seeing that we work tonight. I didn't see yesterday. I just went early, got there about 7. Maybe a couple minutes after 7. I wasn't supposed to be there till 7:40. So I got my truck. I had misplaced this. Thank God I have this. I hate this thing, but I'm going to have to get a new one. Something that works better than this. I found that out in Atlanta. When you're doing this all the time and it's not doing anything, not responding quick enough, and you're right, and traffic is on both sides going, frustrating. Anyway, before I spit on this, one of the few matted ones, approval cover, that he might have cut down. He might have cut these down to the line. I don't know. But the first All-Star Western #1. So it's a rare #1. There wasn't very many #1 issues in the collection. That's another thing I kind of concentrated on, whether I like the title or not. This was a no-brainer. It's a beautiful one. It is maybe a cover. I'm not sure on this. It might be. I've not done enough research. I really need to. This is early Barry Windsor Smith artwork.
Oh, yeah.
With Smith in the title, Powwow Smith. So, it's been a long time since I've shown this, but I've had it sitting up here for a long time, or maybe down there on the side, but I don't know that people could see it too well, but there we go.
Oh, that's nice.
So Barry Windsor Smith artwork, very early.
Yeah, very much. Yeah.
I would not really identify this as Barry Windsor Smith artwork, really. You know, but it is. And
it doesn't have his that distinct flair that he developed later on, I guess. But I think just even from the figures and stuff, knowing it's Barry Windsor, you can kind of tell.
Yeah, and you know, it doesn't have that very distinctive early Kirby feel either.
Mm.
You know, because he looked a lot like Kirby. You know,
yeah,
of course.
It seems like this was kind of his transitional period, you know, before he found his own style, basically.
Maybe he toned it down for the DC, you know, because they were kind of asking for that at Marvel, you know.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. I should do, you know, if we do a Jack Adler book, those will be things that I want to kind of check into, you know.
Yeah, do some deep research on it.
I think maybe this is a new cover.
Oh, hell, Marcus Kelly, good to see you, sir.
Maybe it's a new cover. Hey, Marcus, for Barry Windsor Smith. But I know that the insides were like a reprint. So this All-Star Western that Jonah Hex and Scalp Hunter and Cinnamon, maybe a female character, Cinnamon, and others came out of.
I don't remember Cinnamon.
I showed something the other day that had Cinnamon on it. Cinnamon is an obscure character.
I'm assuming she's the redhead, right? Name like Cinnamon. Okay.
She's a ginger. Yeah. Bubble gum today. Bubble gum.
Oh, look out! Rex is playing with his life.
I know.
Is it at least pink?
Well, it's in a green bottle, so it's pinky red. You could kind of see that at the bottom. Yeah.
You're throwing off the colors with the bottle, Rex. I imagine it's going to taste just sweet.
Yeah, it's kind of like bubble gum. You know, like a pink bubble gum.
Yeah.
That, you know, in the twist tie, you know, hard.
Yeah, the old Bazooka Joe or something.
I'm getting low on different variant flavors. Now I have like mango, coconut, vanilla. There's the mango. You got vanilla, you got coconut, some that I've tried like banana, and it does taste like banana. That's okay. I've mixed that up more than once. But now tomorrow we'll have lavender. But that's about the last weird flavor that I got in the variety packs. So what does lavender taste like?
I think they make like lavender teas and stuff, but I think it's more of the scent than the taste, really. I'm not sure on that one. I haven't had enough lavender to really be an expert on that.
All right, I am.
Eric says lavender tastes gay. Yes, it sounds gay too.
Well, I was late and gay today, so that
sounds like a gay drink. Come on,
we'll have a gay time. Drink. Remember that? That was George Jetson. Let's see.
Lavender, that cool, refreshing drink for gay
not
people.
June 2025. It is July 10th. So we're nearing and we have cats, you know, on this. So they're getting. I haven't really been showing these. So there was last month.
Oh, little fireball. I used to have one look just like her.
Yeah. I had nothing against cats unless they just sit there in the road and want me to run over them, you know, which I never do, by the way.
Yeah, I like the smell. I don't know if I'd like the taste of it either, Carrie. I know lavender smells good.
You can get lavender cake too. Doesn't taste good. I do like the smell of lavender though. I put out a bunch of lavender, but the marigold's what's really coming up. The lavender's taking a while. I'm sure that out of all those seeds that I will have some lavender, but that marigold, man, quick.
Yeah, they sprout up quick.
I've actually got a couple blooms out there, and I need to take some pictures. I have been taking pictures of like the progress. Rex was late, and Pauline today. Pauline.
Okay.
Is that how you spell Pauline? Lind, his last name? The comedian?
I'm not sure if it was with a Y or an I. That's a good question.
Yeah.
I think Eric may be right on that one. I'm not sure.
Okay. Lavender's good for
bees. My neighbors had, remember I was telling you my favorite little flowers that I see along the side of the road, and I've been waiting to get some, are those tiger lilies, the bright orange, lilies that you see just kind of growing wild.
Waiting to get some. Somebody clip that for me, please.
Anyway, apparently my neighbors got some. I never noticed them before. I was pulling out the other day, and they got a big old bunch of them by their back fence, all hanging up there. So might have to go by and snag me a couple.
There you go. There's her belly. I just took that before we got out of bed.
Oh, poor baby.
Mm-hmm. So quite a few stitches there.
Yeah.
I haven't counted them. No, I didn't ask the doc. Okay, so this was taken a few days ago. So it's really bushed out.
Oh, wow.
And you can see the stem in the middle there coming up, getting ready to flower.
Started those as seeds back when your sister was there, right?
In early April. Yeah.
Wow, man. Yeah, that's pretty
apparently
good.
When the seeds came out, that it's supposed to, and then here's a close up of the, if you look, there we go. It's getting ready to bud out there. And it may even start, opening.
Yeah.
Have opened by now.
Popping some flowers for you.
Yeah, but it's all, I mean, these are large, flanking my shed.
I didn't doubt you, Eric. I just wasn't sure. Yes,
oh, these
Pauline was the.
I did film this. This is the hood of the truck at the bottom there. You see the hood of the truck, and I'm parked across the street where they're firing the fireworks off. Those little dots are the fireworks, just not very good. But all this lit up on the other side of my moving fingers by my thumb is a mill. That's right next to the sports center down there in Wynn. Okay. And it was all lit up and I kind of had to move back over some just because the fireworks were coming up over the mill, and but a very disappointing show. It only, on 4th of July, it only lasted like 20 minutes, less than 20 minutes. Probably about 17 or 18 minutes. There's a red burst going off.
Yeah, I see there.
So I had some light pollution with it, but we watched what fireworks they did have. I'm really, here's one going up in the air. You'd see that one little white dot. It's almost like a streak, like a raindrop going upside down.
Hey, Legend Buzz Azevedo in the house, and
maybe that's a better picture because you can actually see some structure to the lights there. That's a meal there, and they work through the night, probably 24/7. They probably got 3 shifts there, if I had to take my guess. Now I don't know if I showed this. I think I did the other day. This is and I read the little plaque. Where I took Abby has a replication of a saber-tooth tiger skeleton up above. Pretty neat, huh? There's actually been some saber-tooth tigers found in Missouri and in Arkansas. The plaque said. Here's some above, like their files for people, like different replicas of saber-tooth skulls there, like 3 of them, one actual size and then 2 smaller. And then over here they have like a bronze above some more of the files of a saber-tooth. So kind of neat place to go into,
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And they've got some house cats that run around free.
What'd you say this place was?
Pet care.
It's your pet care place? And oh, wow.
Where she had her surgery. And,
right.
Mm-hmm. And
that's pretty wild that they got the saber-toothed tiger skeletons and shit in there. That's kind of neat.
Yeah, up above. I guess it's resin, you know. It's the white in here is eggshell for calcium. You know, I had a bunch of eggshells that I got rid of and put them out in the yard, and I put some out in the planter. These are some of the smaller. This is probably the lavender, you know.
Yeah.
Earlier, just coming up. Some of that could be marigolds too, but the marigolds tend to come up. And like I say, the earliest flowers were just these little white flowers there.
Oh, okay.
That real little white petal flowers, you know. These are some of the earlier pictures I took of it bushing out. It kind of looks like marijuana, doesn't it?
Yeah, a little bit.
But not really. I mean, you know, it has the...
Howdy. I might have to mute for a second, Rick.
Okay. Now this one is kind of broke. But they're fairly large. But when I work, like, this is just part of what I do. I took a picture of my, for Omer's sake, I'll say gay man, but Garmin. And like, these are some of the streets that I do over there. I believe this is east side. Yeah, east side of Wynn. So you can see it's quite complex. It's more grid-like on the east side. And this, by my thumb, the diagonal line, I think it's the dividing line, Fall Street. And then it goes into west side, you know, the west side. But yeah, my plant started out, you know, just real small, had the eggshell in there. I've weeded a few grass and other things that's come up. That thing in the middle there, that little green thing in the middle, is like a fertilizer mesh with seeds, I think, that my sister put in there, in that one. And these are trips from Atlanta. That's what Abby does when she's doing good while I'm spraying. Laying there and sleeping. Of course, she does that a lot when I spray locally, you know. I mean, what else is to do? Just lay back and relax. Every now and then she'll pop up and look around and stuff. Some nights she's more active than others.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She likes going to rides, though, right?
Apex Comics in the house saying, imagine a Momentum warehouse. Imagine 10 different comic titles, action figures, statues, and collectibles filling up the warehouse. Rex has been better collectibles than Eric July. Yes. We'll get there. Omer is here live. Yeah. Mm-hmm. What's up? I didn't know saber-tooth tigers were found in Missouri and Arkansas. I didn't either. He's got a nice little plaque that's actually sitting on the ledge, you know, and the secretaries sit behind with the computers and stuff, and the doctors or whatever. And
hey, Buzz, shoot Rex or I a message when you're available to come on again. I think you got something new coming out soon, so we're gonna get you on and promote it.
Overflow. Got Pez overflow, not got Pez overglow. Overflow. This is actually
overflow. It's you, right?
This is actually a church shirt from a church that was donated over there at the facility where Mom comes from, and so it says something Baptist Church on the back of it.
Oh, okay.
And so overflow, I guess, is called the church or part of it or something. Overflow of the Holy Spirit, I suppose it says. How much are doggy treats in the States? Various prices. Edwin in the house, just catching up with the chat, Shadowhawk. Oh, poor Abby is a strong fur baby. Well, I've never quite looked at her that way. But now, one thing that the only thing I got in the mail today, which, I haven't contacted Anthony. I will. I'm not worried about it. I will contact him after the show. I was kind of rushed yesterday. Even today, I'm like, because I didn't know, I had to get my phone turned back on and everything. And I hadn't done that yet. Everything I was sending out, it was like, but Imprimis, my latest Imprimis here, came in the mail yesterday. I had checked my mailbox yesterday and left it in there. I did not get any mail today. That was one thing I did before the show. When I first started the collecting Imprimis, which comes from Hillsdale College, and you hear that on like Mark Levin's conservative radio station. Mm-hmm. I've been following him on the radio probably since a trip.
Rush Limbaugh used to talk about him a lot.
Rush Limbaugh too, yeah. Back in 2009, I believe it was, I was going over to see Elsie, and on the way back, I decided to listen to the radio on the long trip back, right? Which takes about 3 hours, maybe 2.5, if you don't run into construction or anything. And that's doing the speed limit. I jot on over about an hour to Memphis, and then from Memphis about another hour and a half back, but
amen, Kerry.
So I've subscribed to this for a while, and every now and then, my own Senator Tom Cotton will do an article. I think I've got 2 of these. This one is by Victor David Hanson. But when I first started collecting this, like I said, it was like 400 and something. They were giving out like 400,000 of these, 400 and something thousand. Now it is 6,800,000 that they send out to free for all the subscribers of it. But you might want to get this, if you're here domestically in the United States. And I don't know if they send international or not, but of course, every now and then they'll send out a special one for donations and stuff. And I've never donated, but and they never have. Do you want to keep getting this? They just keep sending it out. Hillsdale College, it's in is it in Michigan? Michigan?
Yeah.
Sort of a Christian college with
yeah, Missouri's MS, right? Or is that Mississippi?
MS, Mississippi, and then Maine, I guess, is
MA. That's MA.
How about Maryland?
Maryland, I think, is MD.
MD, I think so. Yeah, like doctors, MD.
Mm-hmm.
I should know Maryland because my family's crest is part of the Maryland flag. I mean, I have deep roots in Maryland, apparently. One of the smaller states, one of the original colonial 13 colonies. But so we kind of helped settle Maryland somewhat. American Virtues 2025 Commencement Address by Victor Hanson. Some of these from this one's June. J.D. Vance, the vice president, write about Europe. These are some of the things they write about. Out of control federal law enforcement agencies. The dangers of price controls. So, interesting. Sometimes I will read, especially if it's like my senator writing. Massachusetts is the MA. ME is Maine.
Okay. ME is Maine. Okay.
Yeah. And he should know. He's probably driven in all those states,
Michigan is MI then, right? Okay. That sounds right.
Eric and Boyd says, I have deep ties to the state of confusion.
I live in the capital, Eric.
Yeah, Abby's doing well. I mean, he does want to see her back in 10 days. I don't know that I set up an appointment. I think they will probably contact me because they're pretty thorough, when it's time. I've lost track of when she went in, to tell you the truth. About 3 days ago. What day did I take her in? Was it Monday?
I think it was Monday.
Yeah, I think it was Monday after the weekend. Yeah. I'm a softie for fur babies. Eric, don't think Rex has seen yet. Oh, I know you're a softie for fur babies. You know.
Oh, yeah.
Is Shadow the only pet that you have, Gary? Just sent you $10 on PayPal, Rex, to get well, thank you very much, Patient. Some of her favorite treats or a toy. I'd love to see what you get her. Love treating doggies, kitties. Well, it'll be something soft. I'm going to give her something soft for a while. I give her soft meals anyway. Like I say, I don't give her hard kibble. You know, Burt Ward, who was Robin back in 1966, 67, 68, right? He and his wife have a very successful dog food, you know, premium dog food line of stuff.
Yeah, okay.
Although I've not checked it out. I've just heard some stuff on it, you know, ad on the radio. But he's like no filler, all good stuff, all meat, you know, so very premium, like $30 for probably a little bag, which, you know, I could probably spend that on Abby.
Yeah, it's expensive, but I mean, if you want to get him good stuff, you gotta spend a little more.
She doesn't go through that stuff, you know. But what I do is I buy her the soft meals, and which are all meat, and I supplement with, like, you know, because I get some things from Mom next door. You know, she'll give me sausage, bacon. Of course, I eat all the bacon. Okay, every now and then I'll give her a little piece, right? But usually she gets the sausage links, and I will give her like chicken breast, different things like that I get that I might. I just share from my meals. I mean, I didn't used to do that for a long time. I never really shared my meals with her. You know, if I did, I was so don't expect me to share. But, you know, over the years, I've kind of like, okay, there's a little, you know. So often I give her the last bite. I'm like, it's all gone, you know. She's been getting a lot of cheese. We just got up, so I have not given her medicine yet. But you don't hear her hacking, do you?
No, I haven't heard her coughing at all in a while now.
I think one thing that might be helping is the anti-inflammatory. You know, maybe that's helping. I have not given her that yet. But after we get off here, I'll give her anti-inflammatory, and I'll give her her first dose of the other medicine that's supposed to help with that hacking. Actually, I think, and who knows, maybe removing that lump helped, because she hasn't hacked as much since she's been back. And maybe,
I mean,
I don't know.
Obviously, we're not there the whole time, but you know, I haven't heard her do that since, you know, she's been back from the doctor, so it's good.
Mm-hmm. Eric says, since you mentioned that saber-tooth fossil, I'm now curious about our ice age, about other ice age animals. It appears mastodon fossils have also been found in Missouri and Arkansas wild. Wow.
Yeah.
Mastodon. Yeah, I mean, that's not found in everybody's state, but you know, we have swampland.
Surprisingly more than you would think, though. I mean, it's kind of amazing.
Well, I mean, for fossils, the conditions have to be correct, right?
Yeah, I mean,
unless it's like a bog, things are preserved in a bog very, very. I mean, skin, hair, very lifelike. Clothing.
Yeah, it's like a natural mummification if you go down in a bog. You know, it's crazy.
Yeah, Yeah, it's some of the greatest finds have been in bogs.
Mm-hmm. And the tar pits of all places, dude.
And I did not know that, Shadowhawk, till I started researching bogs just a few years ago after I knew Bog was going to make it into the comics. So I went around and I watched, like on YouTube, things on bogs. There are not that many things on bogs, research or on YouTube videos or anything. Very, very few, as a matter of fact. One thing that was interesting, and I've showed this on the show a long time ago, was that you can put your arm up to the shoulder in a bog and never reach the bottom. A bog, they're saying, was created like after the last ice age, where there's a concave of the land, right? Where ice used to be. And so that is all filled in, layered in with dead or dying vegetation year after year after year till it grows up into a bog.
Right. And genuine Dave in the chat.
I've shown videos of people jumping up and down like on a trampoline of a bog.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, some of them are really springy and shit, and other ones are kind of quicksandy.
Hey, Dave. Genuine Comics in the house. If you want some genuinely nice comics, back one of his projects, whether Perfect 10 or any of these other titles, it's just wonderful stuff.
Everything from Genuine Comics is very nice. High quality, great stuff. And Dave is an awesome dude.
Mr. Mutt versus a Tyrannosaurus Rex. You know, I was trying to get from Old Dirty Fatty a while back. He actually did a Nubian piece for me, right?
Oh,
now, we didn't talk price. And he didn't give me what I wanted. I wanted a campsite and the Nubian there standing off against a T-Rex. That's not what I got. Hence, and then once he told me the price, I was like, no way. I pay that for covers. I mean, top-notch artists for covers. I'm not saying your time is not valuable, but you have to be realistic about your pricing. And maybe we should have discussed this before you ever began, which he kind of started one. He was doing a piece, and I said, hey, why don't you do this character that only Doc Blaylock has drawn? And now John Dillard's drew her on the A cover, although she's small, diminutive on the cover. So, I mean, I never did purchase the piece from him. It was a nice piece. It's not what I asked for. And the only artists that I really have a problem with are and that's why I haven't worked with John Falandes more in the 45 years I've known him. I've known him since 1982. So you do the math on that, how many years that's been. It's almost 45 years that we've been friends. And he likes comics, and had drawn some comics and stuff with another friend of ours, Dave Snow, who was my partner, the principal partner in my comic book shop, in our comic book shop. And, you know, I remember I said the way I found those two guys to begin with, and I was just like 16 years old when I first met them. So I was a teenager. They were already working, you know, out of college and working jobs. You know, they had worked together at Hydro Conveyor Belt Factory, which is still here in town. I used to. Do you know Hydro Company? Shadow?
Not that particular name brand, but I'm very familiar with conveyor belts.
They've been here since I was probably a little kid. They've been here for probably all my lifetime.
Dude, I could probably go in there and take over as their maintenance supervisor without even seeing the place.
Yeah. They make conveyor belts, and I don't know what else. You know, I've had other church members and friends.
I like playing with conveyors and stuff and setting up automated production systems. That's fun. That's the kind of stuff I love. What I'm doing now is just fucking. It's just goddamn monkey work. Fucking grease monkey.
41. Okay. So I've known him for 41 years, you know. He's 73 years old now. And I'm nearing 60 come November. So there's a little, you know, gray clouds. Hey, gray cloud. Gray cloudy day. How about that? Always good to see you. Yeah, I used to work across from Hytro and get a lot of the Hytro crowd in the convenience store. I was a cashier there. And then when the main cook retired or quit for whatever reason, I think they were overworking her really. I know they overworked me once I got back in the kitchen. But I worked in the kitchen for like six months, and then for a year, I talked to the owner's son, and I said, "Look, I hired on as a cashier, not a cook. I was only supposed to be filling in temporarily, and now it's been 6 months. And at that time, I had a family. You know, I had 3 daughters and a wife, and that's about like Godzilla. You know." I never got to go to the bathroom inside the house. I had to go out to the trees and squat in the forest and stuff like that. That's a joke, folks. Okay. We had but I mean, with women, isn't that the thing? You never get to use the bathroom. Isn't that the joke?
Yeah.
So I had to have a job, you know, to support the family, right? And but now I did not like just being a cook, going and cooking for like 6 months. It's like they put me back there and said, "Oh, it's working out." And it's like, look, I hired on as a cashier. They said, "Well, we're opening up a new feed and tack place where we have like pets and animal supplies, you know, tack."
Right.
We never got
a feed store, feed and tack.
I can't remember if we ever carried anything like saddles or anything, but we had like things for hot spots and you know, on cattle and udder cream and I don't know, other stuff. And we had a lot of dog food because and he had a lot of pets out there. When he would go on trips, I would go out to this the owner who was a millionaire, and I would go out to his house and I would feed his ducks, his fainting goats, his dogs, and everything. And he had a llama that wanted to hump me. You know, very young llama wanted to mount me. I don't know if he was trying to play with me or play with me, you know, but anyway. But I did that for a while. I'd feed his catfish. He had catfish. He had peacocks. They would get up on the top of his roof. I don't know why he wanted to live like that, you know, where he had like droppings and stuff all around the house, you know. Really eccentric. I don't know. But since he had all those animals, he thought, well, I've got this land up there on Hilltop, which is right out from the like going out of town, and it's by the university, and we had a little garden area there off to the side for plants, and a lot of that was just to feed his animals. He would get his feed at a discount, you know, buying it like that. So it was kind of a win-win situation for him, and it was open for like I was there a year. And I was doing a delivery job to all 9 stores. Every Wednesday, I think it was, I would go and deliver supplies. I would go to the main, one of the oldest, or I think at that time, probably the oldest spot that was on Southwest Drive, which is only about a block away from my house here. It's real close. One of the older main streets. Actually, Southwest Drive does become Main Street here in Jonesboro. Anyway, I'll go over there and pick up supplies like toilet paper, candy, baseball cards, whatever, you know, and take them to all 9 stores, whatever the managers of those stores. And they're all in Jonesboro, all around Jonesboro. Drive the company van for that. And one is in Bono, which is sort of like a little city outside. So I delivered to all those stores, all the stuff once a day. And I've been doing that for a year while I was there. He said, "You want to pick up some extra money and do this?" And I was like, "Sure." So I'd take off. That would be my one day off at the store. We had 2 other employees. One used to have a pet store in town. He was the guy that had the piranha in the acrylic block sitting there for people to look at. Very vicious looking thing. But one winter, he was down on Union, which is one street over from Main Street here. It was one of the older buildings, and enough snow, believe it or not, got on the roof and it collapsed the roof. So he had to close his pet store. So when this came along, he was friends with Wade, the owner, and he was asked by Wade, since he had, experience in dealing with animals, to come along and do that. And so it was I and 2 other guys. Carl was the manager of the place, and he had managed different things. Like, I think with his wife, he was, or maybe this was after we worked together, he managed like a retirement type place with his wife.
Oh, wow.
A really nice one. They had pool tables and all kinds of stuff. That's not the one where my mother is. They probably got pool tables out there where my mom is. I don't know if they got pool tables or not, but they've got a lot of different things. They've got an exercise room. They've got an ice cream parlor.
They got shuffleboard.
I don't know about shuffleboard or curling. Remember curling?
Oh, curling. Well, that might be a little heavy for some of the
winter games. Yeah, those curls look like they'd be heavy, but maybe they're not.
I think they're fairly stout.
Hey, Raul T drawing. He was
Raul and T.
Rex Tex Mex. Yeah. He had a stream like 3 a.m. or something, after I got home.
Oh.
And I went in there, and I don't know if he ever saw my comments or whatever, but I was the only one who made comments in there to begin with. But he had a draw stream, I think it was, although I did not see what he was drawing on. If it was that female character up there, I didn't see any new work being done on it. So I don't know. Maybe it was just to play your music as you drew. But neat anyway. Check out his channel, Raul NT. But anyway, long story short, not really. After a while, he said he wasn't going to pay me extra for that day's delivery. He was just going to roll that into what I earned there at the feed store, which I guess was, I thought I worked by hours. And I said, "No, you've been paying me for a year. You asked me to do this for extra. I'm not going to do this for less money. I'm not going to do that. That's not right." And I quit on principle. And I sit there for a good hour, probably filling out why I felt it was unfair, there in the secretary's office, why I thought it was unfair. I was being, that I got fired or whatever. Skin. I mean, how do some dishonest unmeals? But I mean, would you do that, Shadowhawk?
I'm sorry, dude. I didn't hear the last part of that. There was some noise going on over here, so I was muted.
Well, I know the answer to that already. You would not do it, but all right. So the boss comes to you and says, "I need somebody to do deliveries. Would you like to pick up some extra money, like every Wednesday, and deliver to all the stores on top of your salary here at the job? Or if I was on salary or hourly, I don't know." And then you do that for a year. You deliver, and you're getting paid extra for that day, right? The hours you work, right? Right. And then after a year, he says, he's not going to pay you any extra. It'll just be part of your salary that you earn at the store.
Oh, hell no. That's not
so you're doing the same job for less money after a year.
Right.
Hell no. Hell no. I quit on principle. I said no.
I won't do that. As a matter of fact, you should be giving me a raise after a fucking year.
Yeah. But I mean, that's the way some millionaires are. They're just he's
whatever. Always adios then, buddy.
He's been married for years and he smangs on the women, like at the haircutting places and stuff. So I mean, not a great man of character, I must say. And that's sad for me to say. I went to I went to school with his children for a while before they moved schools,
Yeah.
And that was one reason I got a job with them, as I knew, his had interactings. In fact, I went over to the summer school in Bell Buckle, Tennessee, which is about 35 miles below Nashville. That one summer, I think it was 1981. I think that's right. I was like going into the 9th grade. That's where I met Mr. Lucius and showed him some of my artwork. He was the guy that came up with the concept of Tony the Tiger back in the 50s. But we got to rappel. We would like climb up into a 50-foot tree and then rappel down, lower ourselves down.
Yeah,
we would we would climb a tree and then jump over from the tree to a trapeze and then lower ourselves down or whatever. I've got a picture of me going wee in midair, over to the trapeze. It was pretty neat. You had to wear khaki pants around. They did have a dress code. That was the same school that Wilson. I can always remember Wilson. BJ. No, not BJ. The guy that was before BJ on MASH. He played, here you go, Homer, in Gunsmoke. A lot of episodes of Gunsmoke and other stuff early on in his career. The guy that BJ replaced, the very first guy that was on MASH.
Oh, that was Trapper John.
Trapper John, yes.
McIntyre.
I think so, yeah. And that's probably his most famous role, but he did do like the Invaders, a Quinn Martin production in color. He was in an episode there playing an alien sheriff. So they kind of had control of the law in that town. I think his own deputy, he was going to kill his own deputy, and his deputy winds up shooting him. And in there, they kind of glow red, and they disappear. So there's no body after you kill one of the aliens in the Invaders. Yeah. So it makes it hard to prove that the aliens are here on Earth.
Well, it makes it handy because there's no dead bodies laying around.
Yeah, I remember watching that as a kid, especially that when they would glow and disappear. That kind of sticks with you. Kind of like UFO, just that noise of the UFOs flying, in space. And those aliens in UFO were really different. They were suspended in a green liquid in their helmets, and they could not breathe in our atmosphere.
Right.
So they had probably their own atmosphere on their own planet, but then for their spacesuits, so they could breathe, they were actually in a liquid, because they actually take one of the Earthlings and they're going to take them back to his planet, probably so because he knows a lot about our security and stuff for the planet. And they put him in there, and you see that green liquid filling up and going over his face, like, oh, he's going to drown. It's kind of horrifying, actually. And they actually wear some weird contacts for their eyes. In the opener, you see them take the Contacts. You know, I'm just going to look that up on YouTube and show you the opener again.
Okay.
Gary Anderson, that did, you know, Thunderbirds and all those puppet ones. He did that. And in fact, from you know, Space 1999 came out of UFO.
Yeah, all those old Thunderbird shows and stuff.
And it was set in UFO was their first live action. I think maybe Space 1999 was their second live action show. They had not done live action shows. That was not their thing. They did the things with the puppets and the little miniatures and stuff.
Well, what was the puppet one that was in space? What was that one? That wasn't
well, there was the Spitfire or whatever. I don't know.
Was that part of Thunderbirds with the moon base and stuff?
You know, I didn't watch a lot of those, so I really don't know. The puppet ones, and I can't remember them. I mean, there might have been on PBS some of that type of stuff, and I would watch it, but I don't. It's not really memorable to me. I did not know about Thunderbirds till like the Bill Paxton movie, and then that year it was all kind of a big thing. Although the movie didn't do good.
Because I had caught Thunderbirds back when I was a kid, like on PBS or something, but I never got to see what was the other one called? Crap, Moonbase Alpha or some shit like that.
Okay, Moonbase Alpha was Space 1999.
Okay, it was there was one that they did with puppets before they did Space 1999. It was based on, I think they used the same moon base and everything.
Okay. Well, I don't think so, because on UFO they had a small little base. Small little base. They only had 3 interceptors.
Okay, and so that's the one I'm thinking of, but I didn't realize that was live action. I thought that was a puppet.
That was UFO, where the interceptors came up on a hydraulic lift out of the moon
out of the crater
and took off.
Yeah, like the little red and white ones, right?
And the moon base looked, I swear, it looked like a soccer ball, and it could have been a soccer ball, painted soccer ball. Yeah, with some.
I never got to watch those. I've just seen like little clips of the spaceships.
That's UFO, and then Moonbase Alpha was supposed to be UFO's second series base that was expanded on, but since it wasn't renewed, they went with a new concept but used the same model.
Okay, so and then that turned into Space 1999.
Yeah, and the UFO enlarged moon base, which in Space 1999 was called Moonbase Alpha, was really the expanded UFO, or was supposed to be. It turned out to be Moonbase Alpha for Space 1999. And I'm glad we got Space 1999, because I watched that probably on PBS as a kid, maybe ABC too.
God dang it. I'll be back, Rex.
Captain Scarlet. Yeah, Captain Scarlet was one. I cannot remember a lot of the names. Thunderbirds. Oh, yeah. Isn't it sad for you to say, Rex, you're calling him out? I get lost in these conversations trying to keep up with them. But let's see, what was I going to? Oh, I know. You can watch all 26 episodes. There was only 26 episodes, one season of UFO. I believe it was one season, like 69, 70. Okay, so here's 1970, the opener titles. They have that too. And I clicked on the wrong thing. Some restream thing. Shoot. There we go. I stopped the commercial and I just happened to on the button. Premium multi-stream tool. Okay. Okay, so no thanks. Don't need the premium. Here we go. Back that sound up. Now it's keyed up. And this will be the opener to UFO. Let me just share here. Gary Anderson's UFO. But you can watch all 26 episodes. That's exciting. And it was set in the far-flung future. Say that 10 times real quick. Of 1980. All right, let's start that over because it's only about a minute 20. I want you to see it all, Shadowhawk.
Yeah, sorry about that. I'm back.
Here you go. Now, the very first thing you see is they've captured an alien and they're taking out one of those alien contacts off their eye.
Ew.
21st Century Television Production. That was his brand.
Very Ew. Forward. Yeah, I see that. They were peeling it off in space.
1980.
Oh, wow. The future.
That groovy 60s music. There's a little satellite of the Earth. Skydiver, they're showing you all their arsenal, all their neat vehicles tied to aliens.
That's cool. Oh, dude, I had that when I was a kid. I didn't realize that's what it was from. It was a little remote control one.
There's an interceptor there. And they would have a nuclear torpedo. There's the nuclear torpedo on the end.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember those. For some reason, I thought that one was puppets, too. I don't know why.
Mickey, who I was a caregiver to, and I found dead that week, that Labor Day weekend, or I think it was Labor Day weekend. His cousins, right? So his cousin and husband, okay, live here in town. Although I've not seen them in a while. They're wonderful people. But now I knew he was a coach. His brother was a coach to me in basketball. Part of my junior and high school years, whatever. So out of 3 brothers, Turney brothers, 2 of them at least, if not 3, were coaches, at schools. And lovely people. Well, their son, right? Older couple. I mean, he was 80. He was like, he kind of looked like me at 60. Good, I mean, not as fit, but I mean, he pretty fit for 81 years old then. He may be dead now, but because it's been a few years back, but he very fit guy for his age, I mentioned in the shower that I do stretches under the hot water, in the shower sometimes. And he says, I do the very same thing. They gave me a generator, and he picked that generator up at 80-something years old and put it in my car himself. And that thing ain't, isn't.
No, they're not light.
Just say it in the South, that thing ain't lightweight. It's heavy.
Yeah, exactly.
But now their son had an interceptor like that, little toy from when he was a kid, still in mint condition. Because he took care of his stuff. He's a He's like a state trooper or police officer or something like that now, but they still in his room when he comes home to visit has, some of his toys still there, whatever. And I was like, ooh, man, I'd love to have that thing. That thing's vintage. I'd love to have that.
Yeah, I wish I would have known that's what that was. That little buggy, the track buggy that they show rolling out when it says mobiles. I had an old, like from probably, I don't know. I mean, I was little when I remember having it. And, but it was like one of the corded remotes, where you only had like 3 feet of cord and then a little couple of buttons on. But it was really cool,
I remember, I think it was 1975. They started on Saturday mornings actually playing UFO. That was the only other time that I saw UFO besides its original run. And I was telling them, Shadowhawk, you can watch all 26 episodes on YouTube. And I highly recommend it if you like sci-fi type stuff and period piece stuff like that. It's a groovy show. It's groovy.
All right, Rick, so I'm probably going to cut out about 5:30 again today to start getting dinner going. But I do have something to show y'all before we go. So if you want to blow me up there, we'll
okay. Eric, I guarantee you, it won't cost you a dime. Just go over there to YouTube and look up UFO, and all 26 episodes are over there. Nice. Check it out. Got some stuff in the mail, eh?
Yes, sir.
Oh, you said it was coming.
Yeah, they're coming to my mighty mascot.
So they're going to be closing that down pretty soon.
Oh yeah. So there's Mondo and what's his name? Whack.
Mondo. Yeah.
Yeah, Mondo is the Quisp guy, right? I got Captain Honeyflakes, who is basically Captain Crunch, right?
We don't really care as much as what is that wonderful table you got there with a bird on it and the inscription and everything. You haven't shown that off. The wood burned table.
What are you talking about?
That's that right there. Or is that
my rug?
Is that rug?
Yeah, that's my.
My new rug. Okay. I thought it was a table because it was brown. Okay, well that's cool.
Boxer Bear and the Professor.
I think that's going to be everybody's favorite. That probably sold better than everything.
Oh, dude, that's a cool figure, dude. He's thick too. Look at
that. Yeah, he's.
And
big.
You know what? They got him in a nice. You can pop them out, display them, play with them, do whatever, and then put them right back in their original packaging without hurting the packaging at all. I love it.
Mighty Mascots issue 10. That rug is gorgeous. Carrie
Boom says. Here. He's the issue 10. He's the robot that loses his mind. And then we got the Kool-Aid Man, who's Brewster.
He's damaged. Mr. McPunch. Yeah, after the Kool-Aid Man. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
And Boom.
And then of course he's already hanging out there.
Big fish.
Ugh. Hold on. See how
that's one of the neatest things. Keith said it took him like 2 years to develop that stuff.
Here's the extra glow in the dark Mondo.
Oh, so it comes in its own little clamshell package.
Yeah. The only thing I'm bummed about is he sits sideways instead of up and down. But
well, I mean, aliens get drunk too.
Yeah, so he's falling back to Earth after a one-nighter on the aircraft. So there you
go. And I guess you just put tack pins into the wall and hang those things up because they have little hooks on them.
Yeah, just little tiny little brads or push pins.
Yeah,
that way when I move, all I got to do is paint. I don't have to patch any big holes.
So that came in the mail today, huh?
Yeah, it was waiting for me to. Oh, and then I forgot to show you guys. Of course, the number 10, the special
triple issue. Instead of doing 3 issues, he combined the 3 issue story into one.
Yep,
which I think is pretty smart.
So that's a fatty, and then it also came with 3 signed prints, and then a really cool idea for a bookmark. It looks just like a box top. You remember when we were kids?
Eric,
and you save the box tops and send them in.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a bookmark. Here,
did he sign your book? Because Keith's good to sign everything.
Yeah, he signed it. Everything was signed. As far as I know, I think, except maybe the bookmark, but all the prints were signed. The book is signed. Oh, okay, you're back on the campaign now. So
on the campaign, yeah. Well, I'm sorry.
Anyway, you could still see it a little bit. Anyway, that's the
okay.
It looks like a box top.
That's neat. That's neat. Yeah. So you don't really redeem those, do you? It's just
no. It's just a bookmark. It's blank on the back. But you remember back in the day,
that's supposed to be like the top of the cereal box that you cut off. That's neat. See, that's good branding.
That's a clever idea, dude. I mean,
Honey Flex.
Once I realized what it was, I was like, yeah, that's good. I like it.
Yeah, that's neat. He makes collecting fun, you know.
Dude, Keith and Amy are great, man. If you guys haven't backed them or checked out their stuff, go check them out. They're a lot of fun. Great people. Really nice.
Actually, you know, I think Mighty Mascots now this might have been the Alterna books, but I think he's went over $3,000. Generally, he does. I'm really saddened, really, that this one hasn't hit 3 yet. So
I'm shocked and amazed, really, especially with the whole toy collection and everything. I mean, I would have bought 2 sets if I could afford it, but I just couldn't afford it.
47 backers. Let's check out the trailer real quick. Shop it
previously.
I mean, his little characters are, they're not
fearless
articulated.
Robot Boom found himself in dire straits after a bullet struck him during a fierce battle with Lana Lennon in issue 6. The impact compromised his targeting system, throwing his precision and control into disarray. Suddenly, a new threat emerged. With no time to waste, Boom makes the decision to have the bullet removed and take his chances with the glitch in his personality matrix. Boom's transformation has set the stage for an epic new chapter, and the story continues.
Now that is a stapled book, is it not?
Is a triple-sized anniversary extravaganza featuring all new content by the same great creative team you know and love. Dive into a thrilling new story.
I like it because
and enjoy 2 exciting backup
tales
by
DC
Miller
can read it, you know,
and the Ogle Brothers.
It's all ages.
Choose from 2 stunning alternate covers that capture the essence of this landmark issue, with artwork by Gazbot and Angry Dad Comics. Plus, we've got incredible new perks, including exclusive 3D printed Breakfast Brawler figures.
There you go.
There are 8 figures available in 4 sets. Buy them all to receive a bonus glow in the Dark Mondo figure. And that's not all. Catch up on back issues, grab limited collectibles, and immerse yourself in the Mighty Mascots universe like never before. Support the Mighty Mascots issue 10 on Indiegogo and be a part of this groundbreaking journey.
I'd like to get the lunchbox to go with my little lunchbox collection. I got the cereal box on the last one that they put out, the last big campaign they did. But they didn't have the lunchboxes last time.
I was just kind of curious, so we'll bring up the campaign here, Shadowhawk. You know, how did he do on the Breakfast Brawlers? Where the first one has got the Brawling Bear. 2 were claimed, and I guess you're one of those 2.
I guess so.
1 was claimed of the number 2. 0 was. How could 0 be claimed?
Oh, there's probably it's a separate tier for the all 8 plus Mondo.
Oh, okay. So the reason I'm going through this, I wanted to see what was selling best. So you got an all. Okay, these are bundles.
Yeah, I got them all, and then plus the bonus.
Okay, that's the Mascot Breakfast Club member, which is $100, which is not bad.
No, for everything that you get, $100 is cheap.
13 claimed. So some of these individual ones weren't even backed yet.
Yeah, so there were probably like a maximum of 20 of some of them made, and then less than that for all the rest, unless he just did 20, of each one. I don't know.
I don't know what they would set, but now ships to European Union, he says, United States of America, Australia, and Canada. 2 of the bear, that's not surprising that he's most popular. 1 of the one that has Brewster McPunch, Brewster McPunch.
Yeah, that's the Kool-Aid Man.
And Boom. And then the rest of them, I don't think had any claims on them. So,
wow.
There were like
I'm
maybe
surprised.
3.
The little alien guy is one of my favorites. I thought he would have sold well. How was the kid? Fun. All right.
Well, you see off to the left here, the little figures. I mean, the little headshots. One of the alternative campaigns, and I've got this in there. He made enamel pins of these heads.
Oh yeah, I think I got those too. That was with the cereal box collection.
That was like a stretch goal, and I swear, I'll be honest with you. I was saying, I don't think he's probably going to get all of them made. Darn if he didn't. He got enough support to get every one of those pins made.
Oh yeah.
So I've got an enamel set, I think, right there of all of them.
I bought quite a few original art sketch cards and stuff like that from Keith and Amy as well. I love all their stuff, dude. I mean, I've always liked the parody stuff, and then that kind of thing anyway. And Mad Magazine, my tastes are crazy. It's horror, sci-fi, comedy. Superheroes I love, but my first love has always been horror. But like this stuff, the nostalgia type of thing with the Mighty Mascots, I just dig that, dude. I think it's a great idea. It's a fun comic. It's a good read. And, I mean, they've always put out really nice merch, that comes along with it. So.
And Amy's artist in her own right.
Oh, yeah. I've got a couple of Amy sketch cards, that she straight up drew. Especially Boxer Bear. She draws Boxer Bear fierce, man.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of like Wolverine with claws in the Mighty Mascot universe. Of course, he's going to appeal to people. He's got claws. He looks badass. He's a fighter.
You remember, what was it? Can't get enough super sugar, Chris? It was the bear that had the boxing glove. It's got the munch with punch or whatever.
Well, I think I don't know if we've covered this with Keith. Does he collect the actual, collapsed boxes? Because you collapse them after a while.
I think he said, he does have like a pretty extensive collection of like actual cereal boxes and stuff.
If we get together, that Pez Outlaw documentary that I and Omer watched, I want to get with you and Elsie and a few other people that might want to watch it like on an old stream, send everybody the link and us kind of watch it off,
Oh, that'd be cool. I'd like to see that.
And he'll stream it so it won't be choppy. It's about an hour, 30 minutes long, maybe an hour.
That's 20. Cool. I'd like to see how everything works at the Fez Pack.
Well, well, you not only get to see that, but he started out with the premiums from and collecting. He's got an extensive collection of cereal boxes and cereal premiums. And he says, I'm the reason why it says one per household, because he would write off multiple times and get it shows him getting a whole mailbox full of premiums, the same thing. And he said, I'm the reason why all the cereal companies said one per household. I'm the reason they instilled that policy, because I was getting multiples from them.
He was just taking advantage of it.
He was taking advantage of it. Yeah. And then he would go and sell these premiums at conventions. Hey, Caleb.
That's crazy.
And I bought some. And with the money he made from Pez and stuff, he made over $4 million selling Pez.
Holy shit.
And the president, as they call it, kind of put a stop to him, I did not realize before this documentary, he was getting like $1,200, $1,500 for some of these that he was bringing back, considered rare.
Oh, wow.
A lot of money. I was like, really? He got that for that? Wow. I bought some of the examples that the I don't want to give away the whole thing, but that I've got some of the examples of some of the ones that he brought back and things like that. And I bought for him, and so did Elsie for years. And I've even got at the end when he didn't have like the Pez that he did. I've got a couple of the signed Pez that he actually signed. So I've got his signature on a couple of custom made Pez or something like that. And I've got some old premiums and rings, like little flicker rings or.
Oh yeah, I remember you were talking about those when I first started listening to you.
Some of those go back to the 1950s.
I kept trying to imagine what you were talking about when you said the flicker rings, because I couldn't watch. I was driving, remember?
It's like a lenticular ring.
You showed me since then, but like in my head, I was like, what the fuck is a flicker ring? I'm driving home, and it's driving me nuts.
Yeah.
I hear you going, oh, look, I got this one, and I got this one. I can't look because I'm in the middle of traffic. I'm just listening. Shit.
And you can't add a comment in the chat because you're driving. And
exactly.
and say, what is this flicker rings thing? Yeah. I've got an uncut little strip of the old 60s Green Hornet flicker images. It's uncut.
Oh, cool.
They would like do a whole strip or maybe a whole page, with the images right side by side, and then they would individually cut them into the little squares,
and die cut them into little,
to glue in the plastic rings or whatever. Yeah.
That's so cool.
I've got one up here I've showed you. I think it's right here. That's the thing about it. Okay. Carrie wants to take a drink, so I'm going to mention my fire.
What's crazy is I had some of those when I was a kid. I don't remember exactly what the characters were or anything. But, being a boy and into like all kinds of boys' toys and stuff like rings, I was like, this is kind of cool. It changed, the image flashes or whatever. But I would just throw those things away eventually. I didn't even hold on to them. And probably should have.
Yeah, I mean, I things would get lost, and you could pop the little cardboard flicker lenticular thing out of the ring too. It's amazing that this one survived. It shows you my love for it. I used to wear this, and look, it's on my pinky. It's that small. I've had it that long, which is amazing. I was also going to say, if I've got one part to one of those Eagles from Space 1999, the undercarriage, like the cargo box that had a doorway, but the Eagle would come and pick up the cargo box in the middle of the Eagle.
Yeah, and then had the little double doorway that would open up.
Yeah, or it could detach and leave that on the planet and fly away, which always kind of looked weird, without no middle, hardly. I have one of those made by Dinky, and it's a heavy little thing. It's got like plastic little boosters and legs on the bottom of it that are plastic, but the rest of it's heavy metal. It's die cast, I think. And that's the only reason I remember I had an Eagle. I don't know that I ever had a UFO interceptor or something like that, but this ring is from my childhood, and Overstreet Price Guide came out years ago because I bought them at Walden Books, and so that's been a while. That's been a while, probably back in the 80s, probably 40 years ago. They came out with and I kind of lost track of it. I bought the very first two, and then I couldn't see buying it every year. The rings, they had Price Guide for premium rings that came out of cereal or gumball machines or things like that, right? Well, this one has the Phantom of the Opera and the Wolfman. So here's your werewolf representation for today, Shadowhawk.
All right, hold on. I got to blow this up.
Okay, so you got the Wolfman.
Oh, cool.
And then you move it, and then there's the Phantom.
Ah, that's wild, dude.
Little flicker action. And that's why they call it a flicker ring.
Now, see, if I would have got one like that, I probably would have held on to that. I never got nothing cool.
This little thing like this, which I assume I got out of either a set or because I think I had other ones, right? I had some of those Green Hornet ones, I think, back in the day. But and I used to have a good collection that I bought at the local mall, not the mall that I have now, but the Indian mall that they destroyed.
Didn't you used to be able to get those like in
our first
little gumball packages too, the little plastic, where you put in like 50 cents and you turn the dial and you get one of them little balls.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, a little capsule. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Exactly. And for the rings, they probably weren't that big at all. So you could probably put 200 of those things in one of those machines.
Oh yeah, you'd probably fit a lot of them in there.
Yeah. My friend that I inspired to open up his own comic book shop in Brandon, Arkansas, which is sort of southwest of Little Rock, just right out. Mm-hmm. And it's the geographical center. Brandon, Arkansas has the geographical very center of Arkansas. He opened up a comic book shop and called it the Daily Planet that he ran for about 5 years. Before he did that, he did vending machines.
Yeah.
And so he was into the vending premiums and setting up the kind of like I had a paper route. You got paper boxes. And you put the papers in the paper boxes. And let me tell you, Super Bowl Sunday, that's your biggest day to sell papers. Everybody wants to read about the Super Bowl. And I would sell out of several boxes. I would come home with a lot of money, a lot of change in quarters, for a big 75
when I was
cent.
A kid, I didn't realize, seasonally my dad would do vending machines. He had a little route that he would run, just like usually like through the summer and into the fall. Like I didn't realize he was just making extra money for Christmas and shit.
Oh yeah.
So me and my brother were in there raiding the fucking stock for the vending machines and fucking eating almonds and all kinds of shit.
Here's a little plastic sort of Robbie the Robot type thing. And what's neat is it will actually roll. It's got 4 little wheels here on the bottom of it.
Oh, that's cool.
And you can actually roll him, little robot.
Hey, Elsie.
I think Pale Rider likes robots. Hey, Elsie. I meant to send you the link and I just kind of got busy. So there you have it. There you are. The secretary hasn't got back with me. So I guess I'm going to have to get with Larry, who's overnights, and say, are we going to work tonight? I set the alarm off last night. All right. So where did I find my phone? Because I lost my phone yesterday. It was on the charger in my kitchen.
The last place you're ever going to look.
It was and it was. After I got home, I finally saw it messing around in the kitchen. I made a dump cake, by the way, and I can show you. And I did have some of it last night before I went to bed. So check that out.
I'm not your mama. You don't have to make me proud of your boom booms.
Okay. Another cherry, and I like these little half pans because you can load it up. 1 can, big substantial can of cherries with walnuts. I mean, wall-to-wall walnuts. I mean, just cover it.
Nuts.
So good. So
nuts
good.
Everywhere.
Okay. Yes, nuts. I almost forgot the dump cake down here. No wonder it smells so good in here.
Well, Abby would have found that thing and ate it up.
Yeah. Well, those nuts. I don't want her to have those nuts. Although she'd eat it. She'd probably clean that plate. But I set the alarm off and I didn't have the code. If you don't react within like 5 seconds or less, that alarm goes off and it is loud. And so I'm there and I'm like, okay, I know it's 07 something, 072, and I got those right. And it's another digit. And I'm like, it's going off. Eventually it stopped. And I actually went back there and rode the back door up, which is a no-no. That needs to be shut down before you can set it. Eventually it went off. In fact, I watched a police officer go zoom back by later, and I'm surprised he didn't even stop. For some reason, the guy, Larry Talbot, that's been working days, he lives pretty close. I don't know how close to where we're at and the shed. And so he came out and I said, man, Larry, I'm sorry. And usually they have it written on a sheet there. I actually wrote it on a sheet there. And I guess they didn't want that. So they took the sheet away. Well, I didn't have the sheet. I didn't have the number. I didn't have it in my phone, which it still would have went off, but I could have stopped it. I didn't have my phone because I had it where the secretary sent me the new code. And I think she changed the code because our daytime crew quit and just for security purposes, but it was going off and loud. And I was like, oh God, I did get some more extra time on the clock last night because of that. Cause I had to try and figure that out, and stick around and, couldn't leave yet with the alarm going off and it couldn't lock the door, so that was an eventful ending to the night. I'm back in my regular truck without the beep, 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 beep. Very irritating sensor. They got that replaced for the tires because I was having to drive 2 hours or no, I mean, for hours hearing beep, beep, sometimes 4 hours a night. Well, 5.
Oh, I would have cut the wire to
6 hours a night. Yeah, 6 hours a night. And I could put the radio up, but then once I turn the rig on, you get static. You don't get very good reception, and you hear I have overhead lights, and so it goes on the radio, and it's not good, but so. I do what I can do. I kind of zone it out, but yeah, it gets irritating. They got that fixed. The other night I went out in the truck and you can only do it on manual. I hate that. Why? Because it cuts in on my paycheck because I run out of chemical and have to come back early. And I don't know who they've got there that can fix it besides the boss that's been there forever. I don't know who can fix it because the daytime crew didn't like having to go out. They said it cut into their family time. They finally got fed up with it and both of them quit.
Oh, well, why don't they make sure your shit's running on a daily basis? You guys don't have a regular maintenance guy?
No, they quit. They walked out.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If you had 2 guys that were supposed to be taking, how many trucks do you guys have? You ain't got that many.
Well, even with those dunderheads there, Shadow, remember the season a couple seasons ago where I had to come back early as soon as I got down there because the fogging head, the
nozzle came right off.
Right off because they didn't have it tightened up on there. And then I would take a towel, but the thing's hot. Because it heats up, pipe heats up, and it's got chemical all over it. And I'm like, what if I put it on and the pressure builds up and I blow this unit up? I just have to come back and lose that night of spraying. And there's only so many nights. I hate that. Well, they weren't doing their job anyway. Really,
your company needs me. I'll take care of all your trucks.
We do need you. You could probably do daytime crew yourself. Larry's been doing it and spraying nights, and he got out yesterday at 9:30, he said. So he was like there for an hour and a half. He was another day, he said he went home at 10:30. Usually those guys would leave about noon, late if they had to deal with the airport stuff.
Right, but you guys, but the maintenance guys, like what time do they usually start? Like noon or something?
8 o'clock. 8 o'clock and go to about noon or 1.
Oh, okay. And then,
yeah.
Well, dude, that's not a bad schedule at all. Shit, I'd be happy to jump in a truck.
Oh, you'd love it. I mean, like I said, Larry's been getting done very quickly, and I don't. Now he's had them do some stuff.
I hate being an auto guy, though, dude. That's the only fucking problem. But I know I could fucking do a better job than those fucking morons.
Yeah, I mean, and you got a London Fogger, and London Foggers have been around since 1968. How do I know that? It says it right there on the side. And
sorry, I'm used to working on old shit, Rex. Old shit and brand new.
It's very simple. I mean, we've got a big thing of chemical, and we got a big thing of like mineral spirits, and you've got a hose there, just like you're filling up with gas. And I don't know if it mixes it, how that works, because you got to have the mineral spirits to kind of cut the chemical by a certain percentage. But
I think the mineral spirits also help to like make it into the it sticks to it, when it makes the mist. So that
that it'll stick to the leaves and stuff. And it also cuts it so that it's not fully concentrated and won't harm humans and other animals and stuff, because you had to cut it down. You just need it strong enough to kill the mosquitoes.
And then the mineral spirits also helps it dry quicker too, because that stuff will evaporate fairly quickly. So, dude, I could do all that shit.
I know they got a little workbench with like a grinding wheel. They also got like larvicide that they put out, and they like go out in the days and they set traps, because they bring back the insects that they collect, because they have to test
how you're doing on your control.
Now, I don't know that they test them, but somebody there tests them. They look under a magnifier and see if
sent out to like the state, or probably like when I was doing that kind of stuff. Our parks department had a deal with the local college and their botany and all those departments, for natural area type stuff. So anything we had questions about or any testing we needed done, we sent down to the university. They would do all the testing and send us back the results. So.
Yeah, exactly. And they've got to check for like ZZ, West Nile virus, or whatever. And there's I think there's only certain mosquitoes that carry that thing, because when I went, and I might be wrong about that, maybe any mosquito can carry that, but there's like 17 different kinds in Arkansas. And believe me, I mean, different times a year, you see different types of mosquitoes. They all look pretty much the same, but some are larger than others.
Well, dude,
some are very, very small.
You could hear that earlier when I was sitting outside for a minute. We've got cicadas again this year, and I don't know why. We're not supposed to. It's like an off year. But I got them all over in the trees out here, dude.
I think a few hatch out every year, but they the majority of them are on like a 13-year cycle. I think it is.
Well, okay, so there's a small number that come out every year.
Well, I would tell you, yes, exactly, because they're actually, they live their life under the barks of trees, and then they come out. They shed their little, clawy shell. Right,
and they burrow down in the ground.
I've seen and they burrow down around the roots of a tree. They eventually go up underneath the bark of a tree, somehow get under there, right, and mature. And then when they come out of the trees, and they attach themselves to the tree and get out of the husk, metamorphosize, right, where they have wings.
Yeah, turning them crazy looking things.
Like locusts, really.
Yeah.
Kind of like locusts.
Well, locusts look more like grasshoppers, at least.
Yeah, they do. But, I mean, they're kind of big like that. And,
they've got those big red crazy eyes on them. And,
Yeah, they're some of them are black, some of them are green. I mean, they're different varieties of cicadas.
Right, yeah.
When I would come out here and spray pesticide, I would bring them out early, and their wings would be curly. They wouldn't work right, and it took like 3 or 4 days to kill them because it works on the nervous system. And since
they wouldn't be able to make all that noise because they couldn't flap their wings right.
Oh, they're loud. Yes, they're loud.
Oh,
yes,
dude, that noise, that's freaky too, man. It's
remember, I would come out the back door and one would be on my ash tree. And this is not just that one time, it was multiple bugs. They would see my movement of coming out of the door and they would fly over and hit me in the chest.
Oh, wow.
Because they couldn't fly right, but they would see that movement and it was working on their nervous system. I don't know that they were attacking me. They just saw that movement and flew. I don't know why that
they're
happened.
Trying to take you down before they died, Rex.
Yeah, I'm going to take you out before. Yeah, because it's like a bullet, man. If you were on a motorcycle and got hit by one of those things, you would feel it. It would probably bruise you. It would be like hitting a beetle. I've been hit in the chest by a beetle before when riding a motorcycle, and it hurts.
Oh, yeah. I got hit in the forehead by a June bug, dude.
Oh, yeah, forehead. Yeah, shot.
Yeah, it almost knocked me off the bike, dude. It sucked. My eyes were watering. I had to come to a stop really fast. I was like, ah.
And June bugs really aren't that big, about the end of your little pinky. They're not very big at all.
It felt like a chunk of rock hit me, just right above and between the eyes. Just square in the forehead.
This has been a weird, and you could say global warming. I'm not going to say it, but we had June bugs in April and May and in June, but we had them out as early as April. I don't think I've ever seen them out that
I think everything's
in the year.
And everything I've been seeing lately and scientifically, dude, it's a lot more to do with what's going on with the sun and the electromagnetism surrounding our planet.
Oh yeah, I think that works a lot. But I think the hole in the ozone.
They're saying a lot of bird migrations, fish migrations are jacked up right now. Things are weird with the whales. There's something going on, bro.
Oh, I'm sad to hear that. Jamie, Elsie's eldest daughter, just put her baby dog down. That she's had for 6 years. Cancer of liver took her $700 to find out in surgery. $700.
Oh, wow. Jesus, that's terrible. Sorry to hear that, Elsie.
Yeah, I bet she's. Yeah, I bet she's
sending prayers for her daughter and her pup.
Yeah, Carrie. When I get, I just made $140 worth of sales on eBay. And Elsie's sending me the money through the mail. So when I get that, I'll buy $10 worth of treats and I'll show you what I get. And it'll be something soft for her to chew. Because her mouth is going to be healing up. But in I don't know, I don't even think it's been 5 days yet, Monday. So it's only been 4 days. So in about 6 days, I'll go back and get the stitches out of her mouth. Although I don't know why they didn't use the dissolving stitches. And I don't know about her belly. Are those just going to dissolve and fall out? Or is he going to have to take those out too? He didn't mention her belly, just her mouth.
Yeah. You'll see them when you go there to get the ones. They might just take them all out at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah. And actually, he told me that he pulled 4 teeth, 2 of them. He had to do get the roots out, 3 deep root. And one of those was one of those that broke off. And he said he pulled a couple other teeth and didn't charge me. So very nice this time, And I don't think he charged me for the medication, although I'll be honest, when I have money, that's what I was saying. I was limited on what I had. I had a check written out to him and had enough money to mail stuff with, but no extra, because I'd given all my extra to Mom to pay for the stuff, And I don't think he charged me for the medication that he gave me. So he still owes me 5. He didn't have enough to give me a whole month's supplies. He says, I owe you 5. So, but I'll say, did you charge me for the medication? If you didn't charge me now, by then I'll have another paycheck. when I go
right,
yeah. Stitches out. So I'll be honest.
Well, that was mighty nice of you, man. So.
Yeah. But I was like, I'm not going to say a thing now because I don't have the money to pay you. I'll pay you later next week, for the medication if you didn't charge me. And I've got an itemized list in there. I didn't see that on there. I should have just brought that in here. But I mean, yeah, it shows that he pulled 4 teeth. He didn't even charge me for a couple of them. But yeah, there's a lot of procedure in there. I mean, to do stuff like that. And it would have cost me about $145 or about $150 to have that mass looked at. See, I haven't given her medicine yet. She's hacking a little bit now.
Mm.
She'll do a little when she wakes up and stuff, kind of like you do when you wake up from being in bed, and everything's kind of settled in your lungs and you're, maybe you've been snoring a little bit and you're like, a little congestion settles. That never happens to you? Happens to me a little bit. Sometimes I'm hacking more than my dog.
Sorry. Gotta go, man. My internet's all wacky anyhow.
Okay.
Love y'all. Have a great night. Keep on collecting all that good stuff. Rex,
what
have a good night
for dinner? Tacos?
Not sure yet. Still got to figure it out with Mama. I was leaning towards ribs, but Mama don't feel like ribs. So I don't know what we're doing yet.
So. Oh, you throw those on the grill and finish them off in the oven, wouldn't you?
Yeah, that's what my plan was, but Mama threw a wrench in the plan because she doesn't feel like ribs tonight. So I don't know, man.
Okay.
Oh, shit. All right. My internet's all jacked. Have a great night, everyone. Hello. See you tomorrow.
Yeah. Get out of here. Send me rib. Mail it to me. That ain't gonna happen. All right, I guess we'll call this one a little bit early because I really don't have that much to talk about. Or do I? You never know about me. Let me check X here real quick. Hey, quit nosing the artwork now. Don't get the artwork messed. I know you're hungry. He wants fed. No, pretty much covered everything, I think. Here's a mindful thought. Robin Williams once said, everyone you meet is fighting a battle you know nothing about. So be kind always. How about that for an ending quote? Keep collecting. We'll see you tomorrow.